Hi guys, I am Mohammad Ahmad from FEU Institute of Technology. I'm a graduating student majoring in civil engineering and currently an intern here at Concipio Tektura, one of the rising architectural firms here in the country. It's led by architect Eric Banyo, an architect with a huge portfolio of projects, both local and in international countries such as Kuwait, UAE, and Qatar. We all know that the Middle East is a major hub of structural development, especially the UAE. And architect Eric Banyo has a decade of professional experience in these countries. I could say that it's been truly an honor to be trained by him. In this video, I'll be talking about the recently proposed House Bill 10234, or the act of elevating the regulation and practice of architecture in the Philippines. I'll be talking about the bill, my thoughts about it, and my point of view as an engineering student. Now, as an engineering student, the bill talks about the elevation of the architectural profession. Now, some of these clauses in the House bill are what you might say questionable. First is the outsiders. An engineer and an interior designer would join the Board of Architecture. Why is there a need for these two professionals to be in the board? Does that mean an architect and an interior designer would also be in the Board of Civil Engineers? If the point is so that we could get the other profession's perspective, doesn't the boards of each respective profession talk? That's the first. Second is the failure. The bill prohibits the student from taking any more exams in the future if the student fails 3 times in the board exams. I think this is too much. Shouldn't we help them further improve? In my opinion, this would lead to depression, as imagine all the hard work, all those sleepless nights turn to nothing. In the worst case scenario, it might also lead to suicide. Third is safety. The bill allows the civilians to prepare construction documents directing the design of buildings, as long as it's for their own use. In my opinion, this is wrong. Who knows, you might be designing your own house, but it might endanger the property of the other neighbor. Having an engineer and architect is a good investment to build a house. The engineer and architect would always know the proper codes and safety measures in designing. It's basically an investment for your safety. As of now, those are the 3 parts of the bill that I find most questionable and unnecessary. We might not know the exact answers to these questions until the officials discuss these new provisions further. Good. Lastly, before I end the video, you might be wondering why I, a civil engineering student, chose an architectural firm for my OJT instead of firms led by engineers. It's a bit unusual, but hear me out. I want to understand the way architects do things, like the way they do things. Because I've always wondered why there's some conflict, such as some sort of cold war between architects and the engineers. It even reached the Supreme Court, the UAP versus SPICE a few years ago. I feel like this is terribly wrong because we are supposed to be cooperative. Because I don't hear any problems between architects and engineers in other countries. Like famous structural projects such as the Eiffel Tower, the Burj Khalifa, Burj Al Arab, they all have engineers and architects working hand in hand together, collaborative. I believe that this is what we should be targeting, the perfect collaboration between architects and engineers. I as an engineer would absolutely be delighted to work in projects such as these. That is why I vow to work, to team up, and to collaborate with the architects perfectly and respect each other's boundaries. Collaborate with the professional who knows the assigned task better. That's all for the vid. Thank you and God bless.